Do you think pigeons have feelings?
It's meant to be silent, you dick.
Well, that's how we're going to start the next one.
G'day, you nerds. How you doing? This is part 2 of the Orkz episode, The Best Faction. My name is Mike Blake. I'm Corbin the Killer.
And I'm James. I'm not doing a voice. I can't do a voice.
It's hard on the throat.
It is. So
it's hard on the
No, not in my orc episode. Thank you very much.
Get your Slaneshi shit out of here.
Yeah. Keep that for our chaos episodes. So last time on part 1 we talked about what is an orc, the different types of orcs, and the clans.
And what did you learn from that, James?
That orcs are cool,
Yeah.
and that they add K's and Z's and A's to a lot of their words.
Yeah.
And a lot of their words are just descriptions of what they are.
Yeah.
Like the Storm Boys are just Storm Boys.
And do you know what the average infantry are called?
No.
The boys.
The boys.
Oh, I should.
That was the problem. Mate. You thought about it too much.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what's
But
what's,
is DA, da boys.
yeah,
Da boys,
What's
yeah.
what's got a bunch of K's that's infantry, but yeah.
No,
da
no,
boys.
it's just the boys.
That
Da
makes
boys.
a
Yeah.
lot more sense.
Alright, so jumping into it. The first notable orc I have here is one who will get his own episode, but we'll just quickly cover him because why wouldn't you cover the best orc? It's Gazkal Thraka, the Grand Warlord, Prophet of Gork and Mork.
I am prophet of the Mork and the Gork.
Yeah.
I
He's
still
got
don't know how to say his name, even though you've just said it.
Gazkal Thraka.
Guys call Mark Uruk Thraka.
Yes. It's longer than that, but
I know
I
it's
won't
longer
go
than
through
that,
it.
yeah.
I won't go
Maybe
through the
I've
whole
just
thing.
shortened it for my orky ways, like
Just
Gaz.
say Gaz.
Yeah, Gazzy.
Yeah.
Good old Gazbar.
The Prophet of the War. So he did
I love it how
something.
you tried shorting it, and then you made it even longer. You went Gaz and then Gaspar.
No, that's like the Aussie one. It's like
Gazzy.
Yeah, anything that's like that's the
I've got
Aussie
I've got a knifey in the stomachy. I'm in the morgie.
Gazzy.
Yeah.
Gazzy boy.
So, Gazkal.
Little Gaz.
Little Gaz.
No, Big Gaz.
Nah, little Gaz.
No,
He's
because
not
you're
little.
always but it's always the big guy, like the big security guard is like Little Mike.
Oh, true,
Yeah.
like Biggie Smalls.
Yeah,
We're gonna worry about little Tony, and then he's size of the door frame.
Yeah.
yeah, big Gaz, Little Gaz.
Little Gaz.
Little Gaz.
He's just a little Gaz.
Just
No,
Gaz.
we can't put that
Yeah,
in.
we
We can't put that
Yeah.
in.
Just a little Gazzy.
Bricky, don't sue us.
Please don't add Rick.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
didn't know that was a thing. I don't watch.
Continuing on.
Yes.
Yep.
So, Gazkal Thraka, he did something that no other orc has ever done successfully. He got all the orc...
Out of conversation.
No, he doesn't do that.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
He got all the orc clans to work together and made a super war.
I feel like that would be hard to do.
Yeah,
get everyone together.
But he's the biggest orc.
Yeah.
You gotta listen to the biggest orc.
I would say he's kind of popular for the same reason Abaddon is because he's taking this whole group of individuals that aren't meant to work together and made them work together.
Yeah.
I do like see similarities with like him and Abby. Like does seem like very like he's like the chaos underbite. Like he's the head of all of the orcs. I feel like the same way. I know that Abby's not the head of all the chaos, but he's like the
He is actually.
poster person.
He kind of is.
He
Would
is.
you argue?
Yeah, he is.
But
He's the head. He's like.
He's the head of the chaos.
Yeah,
Legions.
congregates all of it.
Now, not all of the Chaos Legions follow him, and they
That's what I was gonna say,
They
like-
do their own thing, but all the other, like how we're talking about Mortarion of the Death Guard, Angron of the World Eaters, they all sort of like what's the word? Are subservient to Abaddon. So when Abaddon calls them, they come.
Yeah.
But then again, they also might not. As such is Chaos.
Yeah.
So, I have an interesting quote here from in the Codex
From Little Gaz.
From Little Gaz.
about Little Gaz.
You
Yeah.
beat me to it.
So, strong winds howled, rivaling the noise of cannon fire and the clash of blades. The gale whipped smoke and flame across the dark plain, and banks of cloud rolled over the night sky, threatening an approaching storm front. Gazgul hadn't bothered remembering the name of this planet, but he knew exactly what he was there for. The Humi world was somewhere his mechs could test their latest deadly inventions, and it offered a chance for some good loot. Mostly, however, the world's defending armies had given him and his boys a good fight. Along with countless other scraps, this battle would help his lads become the toughest fighter in the galaxy. Those that lived, anyway. The first rain fell as Gazgul stomped up a rise, over the clank of his custom mega armor, even over the roar of his multi-barreled shooter, and the chants and yells of the mobs of Goth Orkz surrounding him. He could feel the reverberation of his army in his iron-hard bones. It was the grind of engines powering super-heavy battle fortresses. It was the stomp of mountain-sized gargants. It was the bellow of enough orcs to make the whole world green.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, more about Gazgul and his little minion will be in their own episode. So I don't want to talk about him too much.
Macquarie.
Oh, is that his little... Because
It's Makari!
I know, but I just know that noise.
So is that the name of the little guy
It's the
that
name of
holds
the-
the banner?
Yes.
That's literally all his job.
It's just to hold the banner.
But yeah, I'm not going to say any more because we'll save that for his episode because Macari's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I was so sad because I thought I lost that mini. Like, I couldn't find it.
It's funny that you say that.
And because he's like, yeah, and I found it. Like,
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
stressed. I found it.
You know,
But
Blake, did you know that Makari isn't just one grot?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's why I thought it was funny that you lost it.
Yeah.
It's because Macari appears to maybe just a title.
Yes.
Oh.
So Gazgul thinks it's the same very, very lucky grot, his
That just
favorite.
keeps surviving.
But his boys keep replacing him
oh, because he...
and not letting him know that they're replacing Makari.
yeah,
So
because
he
like he's
replaced
got
it,
like
and it would've
Macari.
been
Macari has like either died through in battle or been sat on by Gaz himself, and
And they just replaced
They
it.
just replace him,
Is-
and Gazgul's like, "This is the luckiest goddamn grot ever."
is that canon or is
It's canon. It's,
Oh, it's-
in the fucking
oh, it's in-
codex.
it's in the
So,
codex?
so is it because they don't want to upset Gaz?
Yeah.
Or is it just
Because he loves this little like
this
grot.
dude?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like the banner emblem of him not dying is
Yeah,
lucky. It's
yeah.
like Lucky Charm kind of thing.
He's like his lone little Lucky Charm leprechaun.
It's like when people replace like their Chihuahua and they'll call it like Gary 7.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
There's been 6 other Garys.
Yeah.
Like, it's-
I've had a goldfish for 25 years. They don't live that long. It's still the same goldfish. Sometimes he gets fatter, sometimes he gets skinnier, but he's the same
the same
goldfish.
Just like, mommy, why is our hamster a different color?
Yeah.
Why? Well, we just dyed him. He's now blonde.
Yeah. He just got lucky.
He
Alright.
went Super Saiyan.
Yeah. So the next is Boss Zagstruck, whose title is the Boss. He is a leader of a band of Storm Boys. You remember what Storm Boys are?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like the ones with the rockets on their back.
The ones with the
Yeah.
rockets on their back. And his squad of Storm Boys is called the Vulture Squad.
Oh, so there's like specific names within like their own clans as well. So
Yeah,
Yes.
they have titles.
Oh,
and,
not
and,
all
like, war
rocket
bands
boys
and-
are Storm Boys. They're
Well,
like,
the
They
Storm
are.
Boys is what they are, but he has a special group of Storm Boys, which are his selected like favorites, called the Vulture Squad.
For-
Spelt VULCHA.
there's no K's in there. Oh,
No
Z's.
K.
Oh
How,
my
how'd you
God.
work in there? Volker.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of like, for those that know, it's like, for example, the Night Lords, like, Raptor Squad. There's a Raptor Squad in the books, and they call themselves the Bleeding Eyes, but they are Raptors, for example.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just like,
gotcha.
it's like their company name. as it
Yeah.
were.
Get you now. Yep.
Yeah. So, Boss Zagstruck. It is said that every day of his life, he made at least one kill. He is notorious for that. That's his
Yeah.
claim to fame.
I'm gonna say, does that include him just killing his own dudes? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. If there's no enemy to kill, he'll just kill one of his own.
Yep.
But also, that is quite common because he often has mood swings between a foul temper and a murderous fury. And that is the range of his emotions.
Yeah.
You do not want to piss off Boss Zagstruck.
So what is it like? Rock paper scissors to see who goes up and like asks him a question.
No,
on
you
the
just
date?
push the smallest orc forward
Yeah.
because they have to listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in Harry Potter where they all step back except for the one dumbass that doesn't.
Yeah, that's what it is. And if you can, you get a Gretchen to go up and give them the news.
Yeah.
Which is one of the many functions that the Gretchen fulfill.
Yeah.
I haven't had my kill today.
Yeah.
Or
Just like,
you woke me up.
Yeah.
Wakes up killing.
Yeah.
Wait, they sleep?
Orcs sleep, yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes.
Why wouldn't they?
I just assumed, like, with warp fuckery or something, that they just didn't sleep. Or
Yeah, they're
being
still
that they're
beings.
mushrooms, like...
Even Space Marines need to sleep.
Yeah, I don't think they need to sleep. I think they just do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you
To
know,
help kill time.
it's whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that Space Marines slept.
Yeah.
No, remember they do, but they have a special chip in their brain where they only need to sleep. I think what was it, like 3 or 4 hours, like every couple days.
Yeah.
And
And they can stay awake for like
like,
multiple weeks on end. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a reboot.
But
Like a
every
computer. It just reboot and then come
but
back.
every living being does need to sleep at some point.
I mean,
Arguably, some are exempt from that, but like most mortal-ish.
yeah. Orcs are mushrooms, so I don't think they necessarily need to sleep, but I think they do.
It's
Just because
always
why not?
those like you see those like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, where there's like a big battle that's going on,
Yeah.
and then it will turn to nighttime and everyone just stops fighting.
Yeah.
It's like, what you're not gonna like
Sleep in shifts.
Yeah, like-
Yeah, because
Like-
when you think about it, can you fight for 10 hours a day? No, I want to go sleep.
But it's like the Vikings. Like the Vikings were the same. Like they
Yeah.
used to go and kill people at nighttime because they knew that they were always resting.
Yeah.
So it was like the easiest way, like one of the easiest ways to like.
Just,
Yeah.
well, what do you expect? It's
Yeah.
nighttime.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
as soon as the sky goes dark, they're like, "Oh no, stop fighting!
Yeah.
Everyone go back to your
Yeah.
like carry your dead, go
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
your camps."
Yeah.
Or it's like how Greek towns would solve their problems is that they would get into the the hoplite phalanx lines, and then they would just bash each other with shields, like against shields all day, and then they would just tire out and then go home.
Yeah. It's like have a drink.
Yeah.
That's their war. But yeah, I just orcs like it's just funny to think like kill. Oh, we're tired now. Let's go to sleep.
Yeah.
Kill.
Well, when there's nothing else left to kill, it's often boring, and they might
True.
just drift off.
Yeah.
Then they dream of killing.
Yeah, exactly.
They have nightmares of killing, but it's
well-
actually dreams.
Gazgul actually did have visions from Gork and Mork as he slept.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So
it's-
they do speak to these orcs sometimes.
Yeah. Or at least the orcs claim they do.
They claim they do.
Well, they believe that they've been
Yeah,
spoken to.
absolutely. Okay, so the funniest thing that I could find about Boss Zagstruck, getting back on topic, is Zagstruck has a red fighter bomber. Have you seen those models?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighter bombers. Yeah.
And it flies in, and it opens up the bomb bays, and it drops his vulture squad out
As they fly. in.
as they fly in, and then they come. Yeah, so basically the bottom drops out like a big bomber, and his vulture squad just drop with the bomb bay doors.
Technically dropping missiles, it's just the orcs are attached to it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then they're flying down there, full speed, and that's how he likes to fight war.
Oh, fighter bomber spelled FIGHTA BOMMER.
Oh no, this one spelled it BOMBA.
Either one.
Bomber.
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 Yeah. And that's
So what-
the
what-
boss Zagstruck.
What clan would he be a part of? Is he part of the Sun
Evil Sons.
Evil Sons? Wasn't that the vehicle ones? Or
I don't know.
I don't think it necessarily said, but he was born in the center of a human settlement, and he quickly throttled his way across the hinterlands to his parent tribe. His warriors say, yeah.
because little Gaz he was part of the Goths.
Goths, yeah.
So is he, because he's like a vehicle dude, is he part of the evil sons, or is he like one of the rich dudes?
That's what I'm trying to find out now.
I believe he would probably be one of the bad moons, judging from the amount of yellow on him. But then he could also be a goth. It doesn't actually say here. But there is a quote while you're looking for that. I don't know what you've been told. Stormboy mobs is mighty bold. We's the hardest of the lot. We make yous look like grots.
They must be half smart if they know how to rhyme
Yeah, it sounds good.
and... Yeah.
Yeah. Have you managed to find anything about it? No, I don't think it's mentioned.
So not every, like, named character would be associated with, like,
It's weird.
tribe or whatever.
A clan,
It's weird that they're not, but it does happen.
Yeah. So, because he ended up leading his own group. I mean, he is on the same page as the Evil Sons, so,
So he might
probably
be
a good
But the
guess.
thing
He,
is,
he
he's-
likes going faster. He drives a bomber. He has Stormboys. He's probably an Evil Sons.
It just says he is an Orc war boss, but
Yeah.
of a much feared band of storm boys known as the Vulture Squad, but not what specific clan he's from.
Alright. Mad Doc Grotznick. A lunatic and a sadist. He had,
They're good qualities to be both.
Yeah.
Both a lunatic and a sadist.
Yeah.
Like,
So he had an early accident involving a Death Dread, which are like their dreadnoughts. It's
oh,
the
yeah,
Orc
yeah,
equivalent, yeah.
yeah.
And a buzzsaw led to brain surgery, and Mad Doc Grotznick dying several times. But when he stood back up, he had gone quite insane.
So is that because they took the sane part of his brain out? Like, with the...
Well, he died several times, and
Yes,
basically led him to be a lunatic and a sadist.
Cool.
You'd be a
From
bit
an
out
early
of all
age.
sorts if he died 7 times.
True.
And he is the pain boy who sewed Gazgul's head back onto a bigger body.
Ah,
This is-
that's the guy.
He's like mad scientist of the orcs.
So is he the head of the Pain Boys, or that, like, or is he just a named Pain Boy?
Different clans have their own pain boys.
Pain boys.
Pain boys is just the type; it's not the
Okay.
like grouping.
Got ya.
But he is a pain boy used in Gazgul's like war bands.
Okay.
Yeah. He is a nutter.
He does look very nutty.
Yeah, that's his most interesting story is the Gazgul Thrucker one.
I'm sure,
Besides that,
I'm sure he's got other interesting stories, but nothing as much as a claim to fame as helping out Gaz.
no, yeah, and he just does crazy, mad experiments with pain boys. So pain boys and mech boys often work together. So like where you see them have like robotic replacement limbs.
It's because they've worked
It's,
with
you
that.
have
it's
to
a
work
pain
together.
boy and a
Does-
mech boy.
Does he still work with little Gaz? Like, is he part of the Goths?
I don't
like
know if
part
he's
of his...
still alive.
What? Mad Dog.
Yeah, Mad Dog
He might be dead.
Grotznick.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
no.
well, he may. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not. I actually haven't heard much more about him recently, but then, yeah.
Okay, actually, no. The only reason Grotznick has not yet been killed by a vengeful customer is the continued protective patronage of Gazgul Thrucker, now perhaps the most powerful warlord in Orc history, following the conclusion of the Third War for Armageddon. So he's still alive, and
Yeah,
the
and-
reason he's still alive is because of Gaz.
Yeah, so he's kept alive by Gaz.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because he saved Gaz, so I guess. Like,
Yeah. So now moving on to Boss Snickrot, who is known as the Green Ghost. He is the most cunning orc. He's sneaky and vicious. Yeah.
So what clan is he?
Well, he's part of the
Blood Axes.
Blood
Blood
Axes, yeah,
Axes.
because they're the sneaky boys.
Yeah,
That's right, yeah.
he is also a leader of a special group of commandos.
Mm.
But yeah, so Boss Snickrot is the most terrifying of things. An orc with an agenda and the feral intellect to back it up. Arguably the most cunning, sneaky, and vicious orc commando in the galaxy. Snickrot haunts the equatorial jungles of the world of Armageddon.
he's on Armageddon, is he?
Yes.
Wait, so is that the name of the planet?
It's the name of the
Armageddon
planet,
is the name
yeah.
of the planet.
because you mentioned Armageddon before, and I
The
was like,
War of Armageddon is the war for the planet
I
Armageddon.
thought it was
yeah.
just the name of the war. Like,
This will come into play, especially with the Orkz and the Black Templars, is because Armageddon is a planet that's continuously been fought over ever since the Horus Heresy for the past 10,000 years between mainly Orks and other Imperial forces, but it's famous because of stories like Hell's Reach, where the Black Templars take on the Orks, and yeah, so like the Third War for Armageddon. It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, so sometimes the Orcs will go and fight. There was like, and then like they would pull back to regroup their forces, you know, and then they would come back like a decade later. But the boss Snickrot actually led a group of commandos when all the other Orcs left Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
He would go stay there and keep killing the Imperial citizens.
oh, so he was like at the front line just to like,
Yes.
because if they all left, then the Imperial would just take over the
Well,
world.
Armageddon is a barren wasteland that does have hive cities on there with humans in it.
It's jungles. It's not barren.
No, it's barren because Armageddon. But I'm guessing there would also be forests on there. But it is-
Equatorial jungles of the world of Armageddon.
yeah, but Armageddon also has barren wastelands where the hive
Yeah, I
cities go.
suppose it's a whole world. There's probably
Yeah.
lots, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not like saying all of Earth is nothing but water or nothing but
Yeah.
forest when it's not. So it could have a diverse.
Yeah. So there's a group in the Imperial Guard called the Orc Hunters, and their special job is to hunt orcs.
From the name.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're made up of grizzled veterans of the Imperial Guard, but they fear Boss Snickrot, and they call him the Stalker. They tell of a killer who can pass through the throttle vine groves without disturbing a single leaf, and of his luckless victims, left to bleed to death with their eyes pulled out and their scalps ripped free.
Jesus.
So he sneaks into groups of like,
And then rips their face off.
rips out their eyes and takes their scalp.
Jesus.
Yeah. Boss Snickrot was a commando in high regard when Ghazghkull first fell upon Armageddon. He was amongst the first tribes to navigate the green hell separating Armageddon Prime and Armageddon Secundus. However, when they ran into the jungle defenses around the Cerberus base, they were all but annihilated. Snickrot pulled his commandos out of the debacle and led them away into the thick jungle, vowing that they would conquer the environment before taking on the Imperial forces. And,
So he's a very he's he's very strategic in
Yes.
the way that they because he's the hidden he's very strategic with
Yeah.
when they go and fight against the Imperial army
and he's
stuff like
sneaky.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Blood Axes are the sneaky ones, and he's the sneakiest and smartest of the
sneaky.
orcs. Yeah. So then he likes to wear the dog tags of the Imperial Guards that he kills on his arm. You can see them in the picture there.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
he likes taking little victories of his kills. It's quite funny.
This is my little trophy.
And I think it's important as well that he does thrive on Armageddon, because we were both right. It actually has a various types of geography where it does have ice caps on the polar ends, and then on top of that it also does have the jungles, and then it has the hive cities, and then it has the ash wastes, and it's just like multiple places where his skills come into play, where he can hide in multiple areas.
Yeah. To this day, Snickrot is one of the most feared of all his brutal kind. Of late, even some orcs have worried that their own necks could fall under the Stalker's knives. With the demons of chaos spilling onto Armageddon, Imperial and Orc forces have been compelled, in extreme cases, to temporarily fight side by side against the greater threat. Snickrot sees such compromise as weakness. More than one knob has been dragged into the shadows, his severed head turning up on a spike shortly afterwards as a warning against mobbing up with humies.
Because I was going to say, so do the orcs team up with because I know that they're all their own individual, the Imperium, hate chaos.
Yeah.
Where they go, but do the orcs align with any of them, or they're just like
it's contextual and super rare.
And it's more about who's going to give them a better fight.
Yeah.
Chaos fights harder than the humies.
They would probably focus on, like, say for example, if Chaos demons came out of nowhere, they would be the better fight than the humans, and they would focus on the Chaos demons. so they probably wouldn't attack the humans because better fight over there.
Better fight.
And then when the demons are gone, okay, humans, here you are.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, because it says like the orcs and the humans or the imperial
Yeah.
whatever would go after chaos.
Yeah.
But then I'm guessing after that, then they would
It's more or
fight.
less
Yeah.
like it's less of an ally thing, an ally friendship thing, and more of like a tolerance of the better fight in front of me.
So it's almost like the enemy of my enemy, you know, is my friend.
Is gonna get crumped after.
Yeah.
Comes after that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, in part 1, we talked about the story about the super rig. So there was chaos demons, and there was the Tau. And the orcs were like, Tau's are fucking weak, and they just stand back and shoot. We're going after the demons because they're more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the tower would use that as an opportunity
To either attack them or
Probably
Just
also
dip.
shoot at the
Or
demons.
shoot at the demons or dip.
Yeah.
Or all
Or
three.
like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can understand with some of the other Xenos, like they're just like they're programmed, like the Tyranids are just programmed to
Eat everything.
like just eat everything. Like it doesn't matter whether you're Imperial or Chaos. But like it seems like the Orcs are somewhat half smart. You know,
It
even though they're
depends,
just about war, but like would they team up to take down one enemy, then take on each other?
It depends how strategic you are. Also, how much you hate Humies.
And it,
So, Boss Snickrot's killing people who suggest teaming up with the Humies, because
Yeah.
he would rather kill them all
Yeah.
than team up with them against Chaos.
But that's what I mean. Like, so he hates the fact that like some Orcs, there
But he
must be
still kills the Chaos. He just
Yeah.
wants to fight both at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like. So there must be some Orcs that do end up. Like,
it's a matter
teaming.
of threat priority, and if it did happen,
They're a
it would-
lower threat.
I can't think of a time that it has happened because the Humies also won't team up with the Orcs.
That's what
generally.
I was gonna say. Like,
Yeah.
how do they then team up
It's
against?
more of like a ceasefire against the worst enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to read this quote from
Oh,
Boss Snickrot
this
at the
quat?
bottom?
Oh, no,
This
here
quat?
we
This
go.
quokka.
Quat.
I don't even know half of these words.
Do you want
Okay.
me to say it instead? Or
Yeah, you read it because I'm like,
all right, where is it? Which one? Okay, so it is actually from Boss Nickrot.
Yeah.
Gazgul led us to Armageddon. Gazgul told us to stomp the Humies and knock the cities down. Where's Gazgul now? Zogged off across the galaxy. When the going get tough, that's where. Don't matter, we ain't going anywhere, lads. And when Armageddon belongs to the Orks, it won't be Gazgul's world, it'll be mine.
Nice.
okay,
well done.
that's, I would not have read it anyway.
You,
Like,
the literally thing is that you got to turn your head into a caveman. You just got to bring your lower jaw further forward.
Yeah.
have that underbite,
Yeah, that is actually how you do it.
that real
Yeah.
underbite.
Or you can actually stick your two fingers in where your lower incisors would be, and then that makes it look like you've got tusks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we
I'm-
have
I'm not a DM. I'm from Dungeons and Dragons. No.
my favorite notable orc. Even more so than Gazgul, in my opinion. Mozrog Scragbad.
I was gonna say, is he your snake bite boy?
Yes, and I have this model. He is fantastic, and he is known as the Monster Eater.
I do like this model.
Yeah.
I actually think he's cooler than Gazgul, to be honest.
Yeah, well, he rides on a
Giant
giant squigger.
Yeah.
albino squig.
So-
Albino squigger.
So all.
What was his
So
name
that's
again?
just that's a very unlikely thing to have a squig that big. Like because every
Yes.
other one that I've seen has been like really small. So that's very
Okay,
uncommon.
so we'll get into this in the squig episode, but there's squigs, there's squiggets, and there's like, you know, there's like different sizes basically, and
Just
then there's like
different-
alpha squiggets. And
Okay,
yeah.
so it's not that it is a rarer thing to have bigger ones.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because they die before they get that big.
Yeah, but they like orcs get bigger the more that they fight.
I was gonna say, do
Yeah.
they keep growing as well?
Yeah.
I also like that it kind of looks like a hammer, like a great white shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is very shark-like. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Shark bait. Wah.
there's not an orc alive that is tougher or more ruggedly belligerent than Mozrog Scragbad, boasting a craggier hide than a rock squigs, enough bionics to keep the mod of Tin Boys operational, and a preternatural predatory instincts. He is the epitome of everything the average beast snagger aspires to become. So he is
Words.
pretty-
Interesting wo- Yeah, pretty words. Yeah.
Pretty metal.
Yeah.
super metal. So he is known to be surly, monosyllabic, which
What does that mean?
I was like,
They don't- he's-
I aced my English test to be a teacher. I don't know what that means.
It means he only uses single syllable words.
Oh, ironically, the
Yeah,
opposite of what I was trying to figure out.
But then monosyllabic is like the funniest word to describe somebody who only uses like single syllable
syllable
words.
words.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, consisting of one syllable.
Yeah. And perpetually exasperated. He
I
is
know what that means.
Yeah. Mozrog has always preferred the company of squigs to other orcs. He spent most of his days in a self-imposed exile, hunting monstrous beast after another.
Why was he in exile?
Self-imposed.
Why did he go self-exile?
Because he preferred squigs to other orcs.
so he wasn't a farm boy or anything like that. He just
He
Well,
was a loner. He
Yeah,
was a
he was.
loner and a monster
It was-
hunter.
By the sounds of it, more like he was just a hermit that liked animals.
Yeah.
Well, like squigs better.
He liked killing them.
Yeah.
He was a hunter.
Yeah.
He was the guy who likes going off hunting in the woods by himself.
Is that where he found this albino boy?
We will get into that.
Mm.
He's often said that the amount of time he spent alone had sent him a bit funny. But even
A bit funny.
but even his tribe mates couldn't argue with his impressive tally of hunting trophies, so they left him to it.
He does he got that kind of headhunter vibe about him.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm looking at this mini. Why is half of him mechanical?
Wow.
Okay, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
I
are you
got a bit
talking
ahead of
about-
myself there.
Yeah.
the squig or him.
Both. They're both half.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The squig has a gun coming out of his head.
But he also
I like how
has,
this person's painted him like literally. He's like a great white.
Yeah.
But he also has a robotic leg as well. The squig.
And he has exhausts coming out of the side of him too.
He's got claws like a Night Lord too.
Yeah. Mozrog's tribe joined the War Gob Grinder during their invasion of Irwin II.
The wow, God.
Yeah,
I
and,
can't get over this.
and you'll like this. It was a primordial world of mountains and storm-lashed steppes, and it had an adopted base of Iron Warrior Chaos Space Marines.
Did he fuck them up?
Yep.
Good.
And
I like him.
And the Iron Warriors' artillery bombardment stirred the titanic megafauna into a fury.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It was one such beast, a Goliath Gutmaw, that burst from the bedrock to swallow Mozrog whole during one of his hunts.
Ah.
The snakebite steed didn't survive, but by a dubious stroke of fortune, Mozrog himself negotiated the chasm of fangs and lashing tongues. He fetched up, alive, and very unimpressed, deep within the Gutmaw's immense innards. The stories of Mozrog's survival may have grown in the telling, but conventional wisdom has it that he clawed his way to freedom, killing the beast in the process. It was said that he staggered back into the tribe's camp, half digested, and dragging one of the Gutmaw's punctured eyeballs behind him like a giant sack full of slime.
This is one of those stories where you're just like, you're either one, A, I could believe it, or press X to doubt.
That's how he lost his arm. He was half digested.
I can
That's
be-
how he
I
lost
could-
his arm.
I could believe it all, but I just
Yeah.
part of me doubts that he could kill it. But like at the same time, I also could believe it.
Yeah.
This is the problem with the orcs.
Yeah, pretty much. So, now on to Big Chomper, his mount. The Untamable Squig is what it was known as. The bad beast of scrap mud. Dat thing what ate Boss Norbag's buggy. It's another name for Big Chomper.
Oh, Big Chomper is his mount.
It's his
yeah.
mount, yes, yeah. Big Chomper had many names before he became Mozrog's steed, along with the reputation for being the meanest and most savage creature to ever crawl from the drops. Some say that one glare from Mozrog was enough to quell the indomitable monster. The truth is that he spent 3 solid days bludgeoning, wrestling, chasing, and generally belaboring Big Chomper before the Alpha Squigosaur finally deigned to be ridden. Since that day, of course, Mozrog and his steed have never been seen apart. That said, this is due in large part to the sheer bloody carnage Big Chomper wrecks if his long-suffering master leaves him unsupervised for more than a minute.
So it's more that if he leaves him, he's gonna kill
This
his-
everything.
everything.
It's like that. It's like that one pitbull owner.
Yeah, it's like He's friendly, I swear.
Turn your back. He starts mauling the other dogs.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I love Muzzrock.
It's not
great band.
It's not the breed.
Yeah, it's not the breed. Yeah. And now we have Zodgrod Wartsnagger. God.
Do you want to try that again?
Yeah, it's got the hardest name to say. Zodgrod Wartsnagger. He is the runt boss for hire. So he is a runt boss that knows the secrets of breeding the best runts and squigs. He,
Wait, so is he a mercenary or a farm boy?
he's both.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So his
Is he that or is
he-
that? Yes.
yes, he breeds the best grots and the best squigs, and he sells those grots and squigs.
Oh, he's the homeless one.
Yes, he's
He
the
looks
one with the
homeless.
wild hair. The one that I said we'd get to later.
Mm.
So, yeah, this says, most orcs consider runts to be a waste of space and effort. Good for only those tasks that they can't be bothered with. Or for eating. Not so Zodrog Wartsnagger. This wild-eyed wanderer knows the secrets of breeding the best and baddest runts, and sells his peculiar services to the highest bidder.
So is he basically the Gretchen Whisperer?
He is the Gretchen Whisperer, but he also raises the best squigs.
Ah.
Yes.
So that's kind of like, I guess you would take him as your warlord in an army if you wanted to run nothing but grunts or squigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good in a Snakebites army. So he wouldn't be your warlord, Mozrog would be, but he would be like leading a bunch of different
Interesting.
Gretchen
Okay.
and yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah. So one day, some of his prize grots that he'd been training up were being fired out of a gun by Big Mick Osmog. And Big Mick Osmog was shooting this gun, trying to get his iron, so he was just practicing.
Yeah.
But he was shooting the grots of Wartsnogs. Wartsnagger.
Like target practice.
Yeah, Wartsnagger flew into a rage, crumpled up the giant mech boy into a ball, and shot him through his own gun.
What?
Which amazed all the other orcs that this runt herd destroyed and crumpled him up and
I
then
was gonna
shot him
say,
out of his
how
own gun.
big is he compared to the...
Smaller than the big mech.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, you you touched his dog.
You touch my boys.
Turned him into ammunition.
Turned him into ammunition and fired him through his own gun. Like, how do you like it? Yeah. He embraced the freebooter lifestyle, selling his runts to the highest bidder.
So he's the one with the mercenary and the pirate boys.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
freebooters.
He doesn't run with that group. That's Captain Badrock. We'll talk about him in a second.
Okay.
But yeah, he basically sells to the highest bidder, which made him his own freebooter.
So he works through them.
He runs his own freebooter clan.
Oh, okay.
So is
Yeah.
he'd be quite rich then, I'm guessing, or...
Not as rich as the Bad Moons. But
He spends all of his money on new serums and things to
then
inject
get-
into the grots.
Gotcha. Okay.
he's living that hustle life.
Yeah, he has.
Like, is he a...
He's on the grind.
Yeah, is he one of the rich boys, or is he...
He uses all of his money back into his research and his raising of more grots and squigs.
What's his name? Gary Vanderbeek. He does that. He just puts it back into it.
Yeah. But he has two very interesting weapons.
Okay.
Get this. The piston-powered grabber stick cum overcharged grot prod called the Grab Zapper. And I shit you not, cum is in there and I don't know why.
Well, come here. Like,
Yeah.
almost like the
Yeah.
scorpion, like...
Yeah, basically.
Get over here.
The piston-powered grabber stick cum overcharged grot prod.
Yeah, come over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Come overcharged.
Yeah.
But it's cum overcharged grot prod.
Maybe... Yeah, I'm not going to go into
He
that.
prods
No.
them. He prods them while he brings them closer. I don't know.
Yeah. He
But yeah,
makes
it's
them-
called anyway. It's called the Grab Zapper, and he also invests and has developed up his own combi needle slugger, which he calls the Squig Stoppers.
Is it like basically a trank gun?
I was
Yes.
going to say, is it a trank gun or like a poison dart or
Yeah,
something?
he's on his fifth iteration of this potent firearm, able to shoot his victims full of bewildering range of specifically tailored knockout serums. These may well work better thanks to Zodrok's fervent conviction in them than any actual science. So his serums work because he believes they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like bleach and like whatever, just random in it.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's
it'll work.
It's like, oh, squig blood. This will stop him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Alright, and last but not least, we have Captain Badrock, the Freebooter King. And he's the one that Blake pulled up earlier with the pirate hat.
Oh, yeah. Freebooter.
Yeah. He festoons himself in medals from slain Imperial admirals. He has gilded armor and a lead-lined greatcoat to protect himself from the radiation created by his own gun, the Ripper. The Ripper fires unstable plasma canisters and even kills anyone standing too close when it fires.
Oh, yeah.
That's his modified gun there. So instead of shooting solid projectiles like it looks like it would, it shoots it shoots unstable plasma canisters. Yeah.
So is that just what he could get his hands on, or that's just what it does?
That's what it does. He took the gun from an Ogren defender of a planetary lord.
Do you know what Ogren is?
No.
Ogren are basically a subspecies of human which are giant. Have you ever played Darktide?
Well, I think I know where you're going. I think
They're basically an orc version of a human.
Yeah.
are they like the giant? Like
They're giants, but in sci-fi version.
They're Hodor.
But they're like
yeah. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I've seen.
they're the
fantasy.
opposite. They're the opposite of Votan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bigger
right.
humans.
Bigger humans.
Yeah, but they're just like
And dumb.
They've evolved instead of like where Votan were created in the maelstrom of the galaxy. These Ogren were basically on a planet where increased gravity had forced them to grow to compensate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the Votan was like
They squashed.
They squashed
They
because
squished.
there was more gravity.
Whereas Ogren, they get big.
Yeah.
So, Captain Badrock has a kill cruiser, spelt Kroozer, type ship called the Black Tooth.
Tooth spelled Toof.
Yes. Leading his war band, Badrock's Flash Gitz. So, the Flash Gitz are just they're a group of boys that have the fanciest guns. It's too much fanciness. They got the biggest and the best stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flash Gitz are despised by other orcs for being self-important show-offs, with too much snaz and ducker for their own good.
That's why you got Flash Gitz yellow paint.
Yeah. The Gitz couldn't care less, of course, delighted in ostentatiously brandishing their over-the-top snaz guns before using them to utterly demolish the enemy in a hail of shells, blasts, and rockets. They have the triple-barreled rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Badrock was initially chased out of his tribe of Bad Moons. Forget this. Having too many teeth for his own good.
Wait,
Too rich.
Too rich.
I was gonna say, aren't the Bad Moons the rich guys? Is the Bad Moons
No, he's part of the freebooters.
The Bad Moons are the rich ones.
Yeah, but he
And-
had too much
But he
rich,
has too much
He,
money.
had too much teeth for
So-
his own good.
so he had to get out of the
So they
rich.
kicked him out. Yeah.
Because it
and-
made the rich boys look poor, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Because he had too much.
Which is why he has on his thing there. He has the fist, the freebooter symbol, and the Bad Moon symbol on his thing. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was like a conquering thing, but no. Okay.
No, yeah, that's his heritage. Yeah, and he has. Oh, so before I get into that, he has actually some accomplishments of him. Slain a Tyranid Norn Queen.
What?
No, yeah, he has.
Norn Queen.
I don't know what a non-queen is. Is that a big queen? Or?
Oh, it's more or less like a very dangerous unit.
It's huge though.
Yeah, it's huge as well.
Yeah.
So he killed one
Yeah,
by
I'll
himself.
try-
Yeah,
bring it up.
pull up a picture of the Norn Queen. Because it's a huge feat, and we haven't done our Tyranid episode, so
Yeah.
we'll yeah. No, is it?
That's an emissary. Norn Queen.
Yeah. So they're basically like it's hard to describe without having gone into the Tyranid thing, but they are like the head. They're the Primarch of the Tyranid crew.
Look how big those Tau are in that picture.
And that's a that's a Norn Queen there.
I tried finding good art for it, but there isn't that many.
I think isn't that the one? It has like the. I just know the mini version, but it has like then the brain looking bits down the.
I don't think they have a mini.
I genuinely don't.
No.
Okay.
The Norn Emissary does, if you pull up the Norn Emissary there.
Yeah, the Norn emissary does.
Maybe that's what I'm.
So that's the Norn Emissary.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah,
of.
yeah. So the Norn Queen is bigger and scarier and stronger than the
Than
Norn
that.
Emissary.
The emissaries work for the Queen.
Yeah, and he slayed one.
Far
One
out.
of the
Yeah.
queens.
Yeah. And he also has outshot a Tau hunter. So we also haven't done our Tau yet, but they are
But
the
that's a good
most
thing.
accurate,
Oh.
the best shooters in 40k.
Oh wow.
Yes, and it's,
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah.
because
They
they
hit on
understand
rocks.
physics, and their whole strategy when you play them on the tabletop is stay as far away as possible, 48 inches
They
if you
suck
can,
at-
and
suck-
shoot.
Tau sucking at melee is another meme that gets regurgitated from other communities.
Because apart from their a couple of their units, they don't have melee; they just shoot.
They outsource that to the crew.
Yes,
Ah.
and the crisis battle suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he is also said to have harpooned a void whale, which is a giant.
Is that a Moby Dick
Yeah,
reference?
yeah,
It's pretty much because he's a pirate.
Yeah.
But the void whales are like void creatures,
Picture a space whale.
space
from
whale
that one Doctor Who episode.
have
in
space
the
whales?
warp.
Yeah.
Oh right. Wait, where did he shoot it from?
In
Just-
the warp.
I'm not sure if that's accurate, but that probably is. Like,
Yes.
that's how big a ship is compared to a void whale.
So that ship might have 50,000 people on it, and that's
Yeah.
a void whale.
Yep.
So their ships in 40k are usually the size of small towns or cities,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's a void whale.
And he shot one.
Yep.
He harpooned it.
Well, he harpooned.
He harpooned the bloody
I
thing.
think it's a Moby Dick reference. but
It is
I-
definitely
wait,
because he's a
what-
pirate.
What's that, Grey Knight? We're getting into this territory now.
Yeah, yeah.
What's his name? The one that's in the warp? The OG that just does everything?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember it either.
He'll come out of the warp and kill us.
Yeah, but Captain Badruck has one strategy that he favors over all others. He uses his teleporter to land his flash gits where they need to be, right in front of the enemy.
Yeah.
That's his strategy. That's his favorite thing. He uses his teleporter from his ship to Black Tooth, teleports his flash gits down right in front of the enemy, and that's his battle strategy. Then I've got, to finish her off, a quote from Captain Badruck to Warlord Borgrog. Seems to me you's got yourself a Yumi problem here. Don't look good. Yous keep getting beaten by such weedy little gits, does it? But don't worry, 'cause the captain is gonna sort it for ya. For a price, of course. We'll start with that big shiny wagon you's been riding about in, and we'll go from there, eh? He's negotiating his price before taking on.
Taking it.
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
Caldor Drago was who we were thinking of.
Keldor Drago.
Yeah, trying to try hard himself.
Drago. So yeah, that's what I have down for the notable orcs. There's a couple of other interesting ones from different stories, like the one in Brutal Cunning, but we'll probably go into that in our book review.
I was going to say, if you were going to recommend somebody start with orcs, what type of novel or audiobook would you recommend?
So Brutal Cunning probably. They have a couple of good ones. Sorry, my throat's gotten sore from doing all these orc voices.
Weak.
Yeah. But yeah, Brutal Cunning's a good one. I've heard The War Boss is another good one. And I'm really keen to read the Armageddon books.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a couple of different books for
There's
the
quite a
different,
few of them.
of the Armageddon Wars.
I've read Hell's Reach and it's good, but it's mainly from the Black Templar's point of view, which is the only one that matters.
Yeah, but the newest one is The War Boss.
That only just came out recently.
It just came out recently, and it is Orkz versus Dark Eldar.
So is there like a first book or just any other books? Is like because I'm
If it's
guessing
not-
it's from different like perspectives. Like
Yeah.
one would be from
If it's not Space
Gaff.
Marines, you've got like a handful of books.
yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, they probably have 10 plus books, including the ones that they just feature in, but aren't like the only one featured in, like Hell's Reach.
But there's not like a you should read this one first to learn. Like,
Nah.
just
I
like,
think Brutal Cunning is a great way to understand. So it's basically the Orcs fighting the Admech.
oh, that'd be cool.
But it has a very interesting scene in it where they hop in a shock truck dragster, and which basically is a drag car.
Isn't it like the? It looks like the Hydra car that Red Skull in Marvel. I'm pretty sure I've seen them mini,
Sort of.
and it looks
Yeah.
like it's
But
got that really long
modified to
front.
hell though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a drag car that uses the warp to jump forwards really fast.
Oh, that's cool.
And they basically take down a Titan with this bitch. They jump it this off like a broken part of the highway. They basically jump it into the warp, and it lands inside the Titan. And then they hop out of the
Hop
car,
out and jump.
and and it's really funny because
It's
there's
like
a little
a-
squig called Princess that's like that comes along for the ride.
It's like the Trojan horse. Like they,
Well, it's
Well-
like jumping a car into the face of
And then
a giant robot,
and then everyone jump out.
and then they jump out and they kill everybody inside the
from
Titan.
inside,
Yeah. But yeah, it's good fun. It's hilarious, and it really is a good way to show the Orcs and what they are.
So we didn't really mention it too much in the first part, but how did they play on the tabletop? Like how do like orcs?
Completely random.
Like
Well,
I'm
it dep-
guessing
yeah.
each like by the sound of it, each like clan is its own way. Like so.
Yeah, so depending on
Shooty
how you want to
boys.
run them, because they like the Prophet of the Long War is the like one of the detachments, and like so
You remember
That's
how we were
Gazco,
talking
how
about
you run it
like,
with
you know,
Gazco.
Space Marines, they have their own like contingency and task force where they're going to be better at shooting and they're going to be better at melee. And then the Chaos Space Marines, how they have like, you know, Raptor squads which are better at flying and you know, getting behind enemies, or they have Veterans of the Long War which are best for Black Legion and that kind of play through. Orcs have the same thing with different war bosses and war bands.
yeah, so they're like different detachments.
Because I know that there's like a stratagem or something with that if you like scream war or something, you get like more points to rolls or something. Or I know there was something that you were explaining with them that if you
Yeah, that was 9th edition. In 10th edition, their army rule is WAH. So they've kept the same name, but basically, you declare it at the start of your battle round, and they get the ability to declare a charge in a turn in which they advanced. You add 1 to strength and attacks characteristics of melee weapons, and your army have a 5+ invul save.
that's cool. So at the start of every one of your turns, you just declare war.
Once per
Wow.
battle.
Oh, once per
Once per battle at the start of a battle round, you can
Which
call
is
it.
why you got to be very
Yeah.
careful when you use it.
when you do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where the strategy comes into
Yeah.
it.
So that's their army rule, and then they have their different they have the detachment of Warhorde, which has enhancements like "Follow me, lads," and "Head Whoppers, kill Chopper."
Each of these little subdivisions have their own like special points that you can spend your CP on and special detachment rules.
Yeah.
It's basically you choosing which kind of style works for you best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Warhorde's detachment rule is melee weapons get sustained hits 1. So they're the Goths. They're your
yeah.
flood them in melee infantry. Lots of orcs. Then you got the big hunt, which is what I run because they're my snake bite boys. And their detachment rule is the hunt is on. So at the start of your command phase, select one monster, vehicle, or warlord unit, as long as it's not transport, and basically every time you declare a charge, that includes your prey. So you select like a prey, kind of like the Space Marines target their what's it called when you guys do it?
What?
The Space Marines select one
Oath moment.
Oath the moment. I was trying to think of the.
Yeah, and so you can re-roll your charge roll against them.
So if you fail, like to get to them, you can re-roll.
Yeah, and it decreases increases your armor penetration against your prey by 1.
Yeah, so it's like these little selections that you can make to make it flavorful to your army and your play style.
Yeah.
And now that they've just recently got their codex, it's all fresh for them. So it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Cult of Speed is obviously the Evil Sons.
If you want to play speed freaks, if you want to be mover quicker.
Yeah. They can shoot in a turn in which they advanced or fell back. You got the Dread Mob, which is if you're going to run a whole bunch of killer clans and like Death Dreads.
Your tank ones, essentially.
Yeah, your Dreadnought Orcs. The Green Tide is another, like, if you just want to swarm them with...
If you want to play nothing but horde tactics.
Yeah. And you got Bully Boys, which they got the a big mech boss at the front there.
I'm guessing making it hard to hit, maybe. We could be wrong. I've never played Orkz before. I also don't care. Gotta have that orc behavior.
But I don't know. I love the name of some of their because the Bully Boys detachment
the
rules.
The best about this.
The boss is watching.
The boss is watching.
So, because with I would say Orcs and Space Marines would be like, if you went to a Warhammer shop for your very first time, they would be the two that you would mainly see because they're the most popular. Is like you either get the blue boys or the green guys. Like they're.
No,
I would
not
say
really.
I would say that the Space Marines definitely,
Space Marines.
Orcs are a strong contender probably for the second one. They've gotten more love from GW for sure. They have more models.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you would see like, okay, there's like the Space Marines, so they're the good guys.
Yeah.
And then you would see the bad guys, so the Orcs.
Yeah.
Like that would be.
Yeah. It ebbs and flows depending because a couple of years ago when they announced what was it 9th edition?
Yeah.
That was the Indomitus era where it was
Chaos Space Marines.
No, it was Space Marines versus Necrons.
Oh
In the starter packs, and that's what you would see when you walk into GW. But like that's the thing is that even though Space Marines are the most popular because they get the most love because people like go towards what reminds them most, which is obviously humans.
Yeah.
So that's why Space Marines get the most love. But you could go into a tournament, like a tournament kind of thing, and you will see the most weirdest matchups ever.
Yeah.
But it's still lore accurate, like Tau versus Drukhari.
That's not even that weird.
Yeah, that's not even that weird. Eldar versus Eldar, or like anything like that. So,
because I'm just thinking as like I know little bits now, but like if you went into a Games Workshop and you saw Chaos Space Marines and Space Marines, you would just think that they're the same. Like they're still Space Marines. So like now I'm guessing with 10th, it seems like it's Space Marines and Tyranids. But like
it's because that's the new thing that's
the new
being pushed.
thing is like they're pushing the Tyranids, but.
It's just because like each faction's getting their chance in the limelight, but Space Marines just usually
Space Marines are still on top.
Yeah,
but Orks would be a big contender as like they're also a very big popular.
Orks
definitely
like a subsection of Orks. So like the Snakebites, they have more individual models for just the Snakebites clan of Orks than basically all Eldar models.
Yeah.
Or like it's like
how Votan have only got one named character model.
Oh, you're talking named characters.
Yeah, no, but not just named characters because like the Snakebites have the Squig Riders, the Squighog Boys. They have the Beast Snagger Boys. They have the Beast Boss on Snagger. They have Mozrog Scragbad, and they have like Zodrok Wart Snagger.
Oh, so
they've got more to like specialty just for the Snakebite clan.
Just
than a lot of other armies have, than a lot of other armies have altogether. But yeah.
So, and I would say that, like, in even painting wise, they're pretty easy to paint because they're mostly green, and then they're mostly in like
It's why I made that joke. Like, you know, you could rub, like in an early
Rub it in
episode,
shit.
you could rub it in dirt and it'd still be lore accurate. And
Yeah.
orcs, there's no real like. And honestly, somebody that cares about painting is not somebody I want to be like overly cares about painting. Is not somebody I want to be a friends with. Like, oh, you painted them wrong. Oh, you did that incorrectly. No, your models, you do what you want, mate.
Yeah, I found that the main challenge with orcs was the muscle definition because they are very muscular. Getting the shading right, like
You just
doing
gotta
it
get
on
the
the
right shade for it.
yeah. But then also
you could like because they are like the blue boys. You just paint them blue. They're blue.
yeah,
The orcs, you paint them green. They're
yeah.
like
Your
So
commander
if
is going to
you're-
wear
if
lots
you're
of
somebody-
You can speed paint.
if you're somebody getting into Warhammer, the
Easy to
orcs are a good
Oh yeah.
way to start as well.
They don't have trim like the Space Marine armor.
No, oh,
You know,
tell me about it.
some of their things can be a little bit complicated, like small features, because
yeah.
the detailed, like, especially the named character ones, can be a bit more like that.
I would argue that all Warhammer models, all of their minis, have the same level of details. Like if you buy like an $80 box of something from one army and then an $80 box from something else, it would have the same details. It just depends on what expectations you place on yourself.
I don't know, things like the Necrons probably not.
Well,
It
Necrons
depends,
would be
yeah.
pretty. I could see them. I'm just sort of thinking as like a new player
Yeah.
that's wanting to get into Warhammer. Like every one of these episodes we talk about is like, okay, well, this would be easy because they're like the blue boys are easy because there's a lot of them, but it's also easy to paint and also.
I would suggest don't go for what you think is going to be easy to paint. Challenge yourself. Find something that you love and go with that. Because if you enjoy the models that you're painting, you'll do a better job than just like doing something because you thought it was going to be easy.
Yeah.
Painting a tank is easy,
Yeah.
but doesn't mean you're going to love painting it. And if you know, you might be like, oh yeah, I think the tower are going to be easy because they're just all white.
White, yep.
But
White's
I wouldn't.
arguably the hardest thing to paint.
Yeah, but I wouldn't enjoy it. I don't love Tau that way.
Yeah.
You know, but I will put more effort into like my basic orc boys than I would for like something that I didn't care about. So, you know, listen to our podcast, find out about all of the different like factions and the different groups that you like, and then decide for yourself which one you want to do.
What a segue.
Yeah. But yeah, that wraps up part 2 of our Orkz episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed talking about Orkz.
And as much as we've enjoyed listening.
Yes. Be a good git. Stay proper, Killy.
See you next time.
Don't be sneaky.
Bye.